Tonight, after 10 months of lobbying, we finally got our Moorabool Shire Council to call on the Victorian Government to support a moratorium against coal and coal seam gas.
What did you think of the wait?
Well, it was frustrating, definitely frustrating. We wished it could have been resolved a lot earlier, but it's quite sweet now, just thinking that it has actually gone through after all the hard work.
You got quite emotional during the meeting. What does this mean to you? What could this mean to you?
Well, I was emotional because I'd helped with two others presented an Assembly of Council recently, and we poured our heart and soul for a week into our presentation, and it turned out that it appeared that it was just a token gesture. So I was really cross about that, and tonight was my opportunity to have a good go at the council on the grounds that I thought were appropriate, and in doing so laid my family's life and mine open, and yes, I did become emotional.
If there was a mine, what sort of size and scale are we talking about?
On conservative levels, it's been worked out that it was to be 8 square kilometres in size and up to 200 metres deep.
And how close would this be to your operations?
Well, our land is smack bang in the middle of where all the drilling has been, and the buffer zone for a coal mine is only 100 metres from a house. So if we chose to stand our ground and not sell our land, then they could drill 100 metres from our front door.
We've also got Natasha Mills here. Now, we had someone come forward and say they were standing for politics just on this issue. Who was that and what are they doing?
That's Mark Farrell, and he is a neighbour of Kate's in Parwin. He was very impassioned, and yes, he one of his the big issues that he's standing on for to be elected is this issue, and he knows that people will vote for him, and he spoke about that tonight.
Now, there was talk about all the jobs that a coal mine could create. What do you guys think about that? Are you stopping jobs from happening?
We have grave reservations about that statement. I think it's a bit of a furphy. My concern is about the local jobs that are already here and would be lost. All the food growers and the produce and the farmers would be, they just wouldn't be around. They wouldn't survive a coal mine. And so even if there were some jobs, I think it would be far outweighed by what would be lost. And I don't have much faith, given all of the stories we've heard around Australia of, fly in, fly out, people who aren't local to the area. Hardly brings any jobs at all.
Now, a few seconds before the vote, after hearing the debate from the different councillors, how did you think they were going to vote?
I am an eternal optimist. And so I was very hopeful and optimistic. I thought the issues that were spoken about were very, very impassioned and valid. But I also know that we've been talking about these issues for a long time and not being listened to and not being heard and not getting anywhere. And so I just hoped that we would see some debate between these councils, because there has not been that. The moratorium is calling on the state government to basically halt new coal and coal seam gas until a thorough investigation has been done on all the impacts, community, water, health, food security and all those kind of things. So they're basically saying stop until we know it's safe.
Now, Coal Lake Otway, Yarra Ranges, there's a few other councils that have signed this moratorium. Do you think they would ever have a coal mine?
I'm just off the top of my head, I think there's 6 of them. One of them is South Gippsland, and they are certainly going to be in a bit of trouble. Well, we hope not. I'm not sure about the other ones, but, at the moment, given the state of Australia, if you have a look at some of the maps about where mining licences are and where some of the exploratory licences are, there's a lot of Australia that's covered, so who knows?